Good girl. Break. Good girl. How are you today? Hi, good girl. Nice work. That's a good girl. Place. Good. Very good girl. Good job. Free. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Place. Good. Stay.
That's what I saw.
Good. I'm glad we're able to make progress today. Hello. Hi. Hello.
What'd you think of that?
Well, I think it brings up a good point. Good. Now I asked Pepper to come in, and then I asked her to go onto the place bed, and she hesitated, and then I corrected her, and she went on. But it brings up a good topic, why a dog wouldn't want to get on the place bed. And it's not because she's afraid of the place bed. The dogs are smart enough to know that when you're putting them on the place bed, or putting them in the kennel, or similarly telling them to down, you're telling them that you're going to have to stay there, which means you're not involved in whatever's about to happen. It limits their options, right? If she gets on the place bed, she understands that means I have to stay there and I'm not involved in whatever's going on. And that would be the main reason why a dog wouldn't want to get on the place bed, wouldn't want to go into the kennel, and wouldn't want to down. Because you're essentially saying, stay here, I'm going to go deal with the situation, it's not for you. And so they will fight that because they want free will to choose when, where, and how, especially when they grew up having that. They didn't grow up as followers, they grew up as independent, and they grew up as leading their own life, so they're able to do whatever they want, whenever they want. So by asking her to go on the place bed, and her hesitating, and then me correcting and her getting on, she hesitated because she doesn't want to get on the place bed because that means she's not involved, right? And that's something she's not used to. She's used to being involved. For example, when a post-delivery person came to the house, she would immediately charge them to the point where one of them got backed up into a tree as she barked and chased them and literally treed a human being. So she, in her mind, her house is her house. You know what I mean? It's her place.
Or it wasn't.
That's right. So growing up that way, living that way, being able to control humans in that way, it's harder then to then give the control to a human. So when I say go onto the place bed, she says, I don't want to because that means you're in control. And that means I'm limited with my options. I have to stay here. I'm not involved. I can't just go do what I want. It's as simple as that. You see it a lot with going into the kennel. Dogs will resist that for the same reason. You see it a lot with the place bed. They'll resist that for that reason. And you see it a lot with the stay or down or something because they understand you're limiting options. I can't just go as I please and do what I want. So they know that, so then when you give the command, you'll see resistance because of that, okay? She's not afraid of the bed. The bed doesn't bite. The bed doesn't hurt her. She's not nervous of the bed. It's simply because she doesn't want to be put away, right? She doesn't want to be told, stay here while the world goes on around you, all right? And that's typical, okay? I have met dogs that are nervous of the place bed. I have met dogs that are nervous of a kennel and stuff, but that's not what's going on with her, okay?
Oh no.
Good. And typically they're not, most dogs aren't nervous. It's this reason. Typically this is the common reason. Same reason why a dog would resist a down. the dog's doing good, but as soon as you tell them to down, they're like, no, 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 no. I'm willing to sit, I'm willing to stay, but I'm not willing to down because that's complete submission to the situation. And I don't want to give up that control. Again, you have to earn that amount of respect by going through it. If you give a command and they're not compliant, you have to be able to correct and direct so that the dog learns that listening is valuable. And then they start to listen, and then they don't make you correct, and then you get a dog who becomes a follower. But if we're not able to do that, we'll never get it. Okay? We'll just get a dog who does what they want, and if they don't want to go on the bed, they're not going to. If they don't want to recall, they're not going to. And that's another one, recall. Why would they not want to recall? Because that means they have to drop what they're doing, they have to come to you, and they have to submit that control to you. You can say come, and they have to drop what they're doing and come to you. That's why they don't want to, because you're able to limit options. You're able to say, okay, you're done with that activity, come here.
And she's got full access to her yard with that electric fence.
She has full
and total freedom. Why would she ever come to you?
She has total freedom outside the house. She has total freedom inside the house. She does not have to compete for resources. Everything's given to her. She is top of the food chain. Queen, God status, right? So living that way, growing up, and then going into adulthood, and now she's a full-grown adult. Was she 2, 3 years old? And then it's a harder pill to swallow than if you start it when they come home at an early age. But what's interesting is anytime you give a command like that and the dog's resistant to the command, that is your opportunity to create respect. That is your opportunity to then go through that conflict. And it is a conflict because you're saying do this and the dog's saying no, I'd rather do that. That's confrontation. If you then tackle that, you're making progress, so it's less likely to happen again tomorrow. And eventually the dog will stop doing that. But if we're not able to tackle it, then the dog realizes they can resist, it works, and they'll continue to resist whatever that looks like. Okay? So I told her to get on the bed. She resisted. I corrected her. She got on. Let's see if I release her and ask her to go back on in a minute, if she's going to resist again or if she's going to get right on. Okay? Pepper. Break. Good girl. You see how quickly she got off the bed? She's like, yes, so now I can. But then as soon as she gets off, she remembers the relationship dynamic. She can't, even when she's off the place, but she can't just do whatever she wants. So she's choosing a down because she thinks that's going to keep her in the safe zone, right? Good. She's just trying to be respectful at that point. Good girl. Break. Good girl.
Very
nice
respectful.
job. Good girl. Now, if somebody were to come to the door, a post person right now, I highly doubt she's going to bark and charge them just because of the relationship and association she has here. Not that we even addressed that. We haven't even had a chance to address that. But if a person were to come to the door right now, given her relationship and associations to this house and the people who live in it, she's likely to not even do it. And if she did do it, we could correct and direct her so that when it happened again the next time, she's likely not to do that. Okay? But when we live with a dog and we're not able to successfully correct and direct them, we can't shape their behavior, so they just become whatever they're going to become, which is very dog-like, primitive-like, undomesticated-looking behavior, such as chasing and barking at people, squirrels, dogs, and just a bunch of disruptive chaos. Hey, how's it going? Hang on just a second. Pepper, place. Okay. That's good. No correction there. Good girl. Hey, how's it going? Yes, can you set that right there? Thank you. I appreciate it. Good girl. So that time I asked her to get on, and she went right on. No correction. Okay? That's because the previous time she resisted, I corrected, and then she got on. This time she learned she can bypass a correction by getting on. And then I approve and I give her a pet. And she says, okay, that is an option as well, just getting on. That's also the road of least resistance. So she's going to say to herself, I'll choose that one more often. And then it becomes just the default, right? She's going to stop thinking and she's just going to do when you tell her. Okay? Good girl, Pepper. Come. Good Gail, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Good Gail. Nice work. Good job. Stay. Riggy. Yeah, it's my boy. What you got there? What you got there? What's that? Good. Good. Good girl, Pepper. Break. Yeah, that was good.
Girl.
All right.